Alright, there's a saying that said, the war divided against itself can never stand. What I mean by that is that APC have divided against itself as their governance forum begins to make argument and allegation about a missing fund which is meant for the campaign of re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, if this is your first time coming across our channel, welcome to Nigerian Prince News Extra. Please do us a favor by clicking on your subscribe button and pay a serious attention, because there is a buzz in the forum of the APC governors which might affect their campaigning coming 2027 general election. Please, I would love you to sit tight to pay serious attention to know what is happening in the APC forum.
You know that drama with the APC Governors Forum we've been watching? Turns out it wasn't just about egos. It was about huge campaign funds and control. Well, according to the Will Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had to personally step in to settle a massive rift over the campaign funds allegedly raised by APC governors for his 2027 re-election campaign. And at the center of it all is Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum. Here's what allegedly happened. Well, according to the will, governors were making monthly deductions from their FACA locations into an account controlled by Uzodinma. The money was supposed to promote government policies at the grassroots ahead of 2027, initially under something called Renewed Hope Ambassadors. Then they created a separate structure, Renewed Hope Network, specifically for the re-election campaign. The funds were supposed to be transferred there, but Hope Uzodinma reportedly became evasive about rendering accounts. When pressed, he claimed the funds had to be expended, no breakdown, no receipts, just the monies being spent. Well, less than 24 hours after some governors allegedly tried to remove Hope Uzodinma as chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, 18 governors gathered in Abuja on Friday to pass a vote of confidence in him.
Please, before we continue, do me a favor by clicking on your subscribe button. Just the only way to encourage and support us.
But the fact of the matter is that the APC Progressive Governors Forum is very united. We're stronger now than any other time. And of course, we are all supporting our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what he has been doing. We also want to assure everyone that APC is united, governors are united.
All right. Well, you know, the will is also reporting that substantial funds have been recovered from Hope Uzodinma. His rendered accounts, processes are in place to retrieve the remaining funds, and that the rift has been settled. Again, this is a report by the will. All of these are still allegations at this point, but of course it is, you know, one of the biggest stories over the weekend, because like you said, it has now shown that there might be some sort of fragmentation within the APC. Your thoughts?
Thank you so much for using that big word, allegation,
yes.
Because I would comment very circumspectly, because yes, it hasn't yet been confirmed. It's the Will's report, and this is what journalism is about. You
yes,
find facts out. But one of the things that we know is true is that there was crisis in the APC based on the announcement of a vote of no confidence in the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum. And one of the things that had been mentioned was mismanagement of funds. So that's fact we can actually take. Mm-hmm. And so now going further, they say that they've exposed that about 800 billion naira was there. One of the things I would say, I mean, they say they settled it, it's now been restored, despite the fact there were factions. I said it last week that until we hear how the president comes into the matter and how he settles it, we cannot say for sure that, you know, Governor Hope Uzodinma has been removed. But two things I want to point out here. Number one is that when you look at leadership and the leadership process and the kinds of leaders that Nigerians want, these are some of the things that begin to tell us what kind of leaders, because if you cannot manage funds within your party, allegedly, and there's mismanagement of funds, how can you manage the funds of a state, even of a local government or of a country? And then, very importantly, the FAC allocation conversation, because this is almost a running joke every year. The political season, there's, the penultimate year before a political election, there's always spending by politicians and governance is dead. A Punch report today says that within 3 months, in the last 3 months, government spending in 26 states plunged by 2.1 1.19 trillion naira. It means that governments in this state have stopped spending money on capital projects. This means that we are sacrificing the good governance meant for the people on the altar of politics. And
Please, before we continue, do me a favor by clicking on your subscribe button. Just the only way to encourage and support us.
this is what the Nigerian people suffer election cycle after election cycle. When will this end? When will the people wake up and begin to ask for accountability from their elected representatives, their governors, their local government chairman, their president, so that the money that's meant for the people does not go into politicking? And this is across board, not just for a political party, but at every election cycle, we talk about the cost, the opportunity cost for the Nigerian people, how people are languishing under the high cost of living crisis. Yet we keep talking about high capital project that should be for the benefit of the people going to political season. It is shameful, and I hope that we'll begin to wake up and stop and end this horrible culture where the people suffer.
The government keeps saying they've given more money to the states. And we are hearing allegations, underline the word allegations, that money that is supposed to be for the people are being used to be able to ensure that somebody gets re-elected. Is this democracy? Nigerians answer.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. You see, now let's just take this case one after the other, the way it is being, and let's address it one after the other. Yes, despite they say that it is an allegation, or you can also call it, rumors, but there's a pattern in Nigeria where that if rumors flies this high, know that there is a possible 80% of truth in it. There is nothing like atom. Atom means a little of it, but this one, there's a possible 80% of truth in it. That this one that the APC has are, doing their basbos about to, money meant for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu coming 2027, and it is being said or is being alleged that it is being squandered by the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, because he's the leader of the APC Governors Forum. Now, let's talk about how are they raising this money. This money is set aside from the allocation being given to them to maintain their state, to run the affair of the public or the individual in their state. Then they will set aside some amount of money, for the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which is at the first instance, which supposed not to be so, because anybody who wants to contest in an election should bring out money to do that or have sponsors, which has nothing to be do with the public's fund. That's where we are getting everything wrong. But meanwhile, since it's still allegation, it is not yet been confirmed, and we will still wait for the confirmation. Despite that, they say that there has been a way that have already resolved it, and some part of the money has come out from Governor Hope Uzodinma. But let's assume that this thing is true. Is that the country that we are running? Is that the country that we decide that we are going to survive? Where what is meant for the public are being set aside in proportion just for a re-election of a city or an incumbent officer? Well, I think that an officer in power or an incumbent should not even spend money in a re-election. Why? What you have already done, which is visible for the people, should be what you'll be using as your manifesto and contesting under. It is going to be a kind of leverage to you. If there's no visibility of what you have done, then why going for again? Then it's the people to say that, oh, this man have already tried, he deserves second term, and by so doing, if he go for second term, we are expecting him to do more, because they say that appreciation is an application for more. So meaning that if they appreciate you by making you return back to the office, it is your own the also way to pay them back is by fulfilling the same work that you have done for them before that make them to put you back. Well, I would love you to share your own opinion in the comment section, and don't forget to share this video to all your social media platforms.